care more. Yeah, and
It's not that we care more, it's that we're better.
We're just better.
Whatever. Hello, and welcome to Co-Op the Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse, who's not sick anymore. Thank fucking God. And today we have a special guest, our friend Richard, who's going to join us. Neighbor. Yep.
Hello,
but we'll get to that later for sure. And
I'm your other host. You thought I wasn't here, fuckers.
Nope,
It's Raven.
It's a 3 for...
Yeah, 3 for a threesome.
Hey, that's what I should have said.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 for.
I like threesome better.
I think they should change the term to 3 for.
To 3 for. I think that's more sexual.
To Pornhub. Change the term to 3
At
for.
Pornhub.
Yeah. Anybody who works for Pornhub, make that happen.
Yeah.
When you're listening to this in perpetuity. But yeah, so...
Perpetuity.
We ended our... Yeah, in perpetuity.
Yeah.
We ended our giveaway last Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
Who's the winner? What was his name?
The winner is... I'm looking it up. I'm sorry. His name is Luke, and he does really cool art on his his Instagram. It's from Instagram.
What's his Instagram?
It's LukeRM123. He won, and he posts some super cool art, and it looks like he's got some Critical Role art on there.
Cool. And we're going to be mailing that stuff to him. We have the book, the dice, the game, all that stuff heading Luke's direction.
Yes.
Congratulations, Luke.
Yeah.
Hey, but it's over. It's over, so you guys lost your opportunity.
But
better luck next time. There will be other giveaways.
There will be more times. Anyways, so this is Richard. Like we said, he's one of our best friends, and he's here to...
It's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, okay.
Before I was just a neighbor.
No.
Honestly, they picked me up off the streets.
Yeah, we just brought him in.
You guys ranked number 1.
Number one.
Oh,
we can't tell my other friend. Oh. Cut that and post.
Other people also ranked number 1, maybe?
Yeah, number 1.2,
Let's just...
1.1. Yeah. Okay. But, so Richard's here to discuss our theme with us, which is foosball.
Or football.
Yeah, football is normal.
Yeah, because foosball is played, it's like soccer.
That's a different thing.
Which,
foosball.
Do you know anything about soccer, too?
Soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like soccer?
No.
You're Spanish.
Yeah, so
really.
foosball's out.
I mean, we're supposed to like soccer, but I don't like it at all. Sorry.
God damn it, we lost
your people. Yeah, we just lost like at least 80% of our listeners.
It's like baseball. You're gonna hate me.
God damn it, that's the other 20%.
I think you go to baseball games and drink, and that's it.
Spanish people like soccer and baseball. That's all I know.
That is, well, yeah, that's Spanish people.
And pork.
And pork. They do like pork. You like pork.
I love pork.
I hate pork.
We watched a lot of Anthony Bourdain. It was a lot of pork. And chicken, which is good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like pork. So this year, we're going to be at Emerald City Comic Con. You guys know we talk about the Pacific Northwest a lot. We're from Seattle, so we're going to be at Emerald City Comic Con this year for all 4 days, starting March 14th.
Which is a Thursday.
March 14th to the 17th. Catch us there. We're going to have some Co-Op the Podcast t-shirts.
Not for sale, for free.
To hand out. Yep.
That's a deal.
We didn't get a vendor license.
It's free.
It's free. Right. And Richard will be there. Richard will be there. And his lovely fiancé, Ginnye.
She will also be there, I think.
Who is in the room. But she's quiet because we told her she can't talk.
You cannot talk. She's
Shut
also
your mouth. I'm just kidding. I love her so much.
She was born to mute.
No, she can talk.
She doesn't speak much.
Yeah.
No sign language either.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. But we'll talk to her. She'll be on another podcast at some point with us as well. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we're going to test out this guest format, and if it works out well, we're going to keep on doing it.
I'm going to do great.
It's wild right now. I mean, wild.
Yeah, we're having a good time so far. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so now hotcakes time?
So now hotcakes. I have a hotcake. So I'm going to recommend a podcast that they give us a shout out. I have been listening to them for a while. I've gotten caught up. They're called Games and Groceries, the podcast. And they're a married couple like Jesse and I. And but they discuss news and video games. And they're a little bit more video game centric. And they also like to discuss movies. I think that's one of... So it's
That's
Adam
cool,
and
yeah.
Liz. Yeah, and Liz really likes, I think, movies, but they play video games together. And
Yeah.
Adam's a little bit more into the video games, and he keeps up with the news, and they have a lot of opinions on it that, I mean, I think a lot of us agree with, so I definitely would recommend listening to them.
I mean, if they give us a shout out, I'm going to check it out.
Well, yeah.
So,
Right. I started listening to them before they gave us a shout out, so I think that means a lot. So that's at Gaming Groceries or gamesandgroceries.com. You can find them there, and you can find them wherever you find podcasts. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, you can probably listen to that podcast. So
most
Just
likely.
listen to it at the same time.
yeah, just both.
Make it easier.
Here's the thing.
Program 2 of your AirPods on different.
Yep. They need to figure out a solution for dual podcast
For
listening.
dual
yeah.
podcast listening.
AirPod 2.
Ideas. Tim Cook,
Yeah.
I know you're struggling over there
Tim
at
Cook
Apple.
at
Yeah,
me.
and
I
he's
will
We're
help.
fixing it
listening.
for you right now.
You're welcome.
This is on iTunes, so.
Yep. I mean,
Yep.
before you get canned.
I will, though, throw out a nugget.
Fuck!
That's rude.
Yeah, I know.
I will throw a nugget of knowledge out there in case Tim Cook ever hears this. Push profiles on Apple TV, and you'll have a winner.
You heard it here first.
Right
There it
here.
is.
Honestly, I hate
Original
Apple TV.
idea. Nobody's ever heard of it before.
Ever.
But
The remote
profiling
for
Apple
TV
TV.
is terrible.
The remote stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Jesse,
But the
like,
worst
if
part-
you, like, shake your titties even a little
Yeah,
bit while
yeah.
you're in bed and it's
It's-
on your
Yeah,
chest.
I lay down, I put out my chest, and I just...
I know.
You're
it's
shaking
really
your
bad.
titties.
Yeah.
And I'm shaking my titties.
Man,
It's
titties
really
are
it
bad.
pretty
changes.
good.
Yeah. It sucks. It's really
I
bad.
wish it was better. Like, you can download the app for it, but
The app is really... I don't like the app.
The app's better
I
than
don't want to
that,
use
yeah.
my phone.
I don't want to use
Right.
my
Change channels.
And then I don't want to have, like, it just be my
I'm
profile.
looking at memes.
I would love to have,
Exactly.
like, her profile, my profile, whoever else may be around could, like, get their profile on there and use their app,
Multiple.
you know?
Yep.
That's the
think
real
that-
problem.
Yeah. This is a similar conversation that you'd find on Games and Groceries, the podcast. Not
Right.
really. But they talk a lot about video games. Like, one of their last episodes was marriage and gaming. Another one was video games being turned into movies.
Dope.
Adam and Liz, they're great.
Go watch them.
Go listen.
Listen
Watch.
to them instead.
Yes,
of
Most
watching
people
them.
are
watch
visual learners.
their Twitter feed, I guess.
They're gonna, like,
'cause they're
open
really
their
great.
window late at night, 30 people are gonna be sitting out.
Yeah, they're gonna find
Yeah.
them.
Watching them. Thanks to Richard.
Yeah, thanks, Richard.
You're
Richard,
welcome.
what?
But, yeah, that's the thing. Hotcakes. In Hotcakes, we just talk about stuff we are watching or doing or whatever. So, Richard, why don't you join in?
Yeah.
We're watching Grand Tour, me and Ginnye.
Ginnye.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great show if you haven't seen it. They used to do Top Gear,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
we don't
it's the
talk
same
about
people that
Top
did
Gear
Top Gear,
anymore.
yeah.
Top
We
Gear is
don't.
not the thing anymore. It's
No.
Well, because Jeremy Clarkson had an attitude.
he did.
He had
did. And
an
then he
incident.
he
Yeah.
did have an incident, and then I think he got fired, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got removed
Yeah.
from Top Gear, and then
The
so it's
BBC
Jeremy
showed their true
Clarkson,
colors.
Richard Hammond, and James May. Which James May is on my laminated list. I
James
love him.
May is
Yeah,
great.
there.
I love
They
him.
are all
They're
three
all so
awesome.
great, but then Jeremy Clarkson maybe punched a producer, allegedly punched
Yeah,
a
apparently he
producer.
did. Yeah.
And so they got kicked off, but then they had a show picked up by Amazon. Mm-hmm.
And they do bring that up a lot in the show.
Do they talk about it a lot?
They talk about it
do.
a lot. I love it.
The-
Have you
the-
gotten to the episode where Richard Hammond dies?
Yeah, we did. That was last season. Yeah.
That was last
you
season?
You guys watched
Did we
it,
get
right?
to that?
No.
I don't think so. We
So
were
how many seasons
halfway
are out?
through
There's
the
3 right now.
Okay,
3
we
just
saw
came
like
out last
half of
Friday.
season 1.
Yeah.
And this week was a 2-parter, and they're in Colombia. So if you haven't watched it, you should.
Colombia.
Oh, they're doing those like travel episodes.
So they got rid of the tent. I don't know if you guys remember the tent.
Oh,
they got
I
rid
hated
of that.
the tent,
Everyone
yeah.
hated the tent. If you're listening, Grand
They
Tour
always made
/
really
Amazon,
bad-
we hated the tent.
We hated it. So
Actually, I think somebody from Amazon does listen to her. I think they're just like a developer at Amazon who happens to be a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
We hated the
But-
tent.
the tent sucked.
Yeah.
It was the part
Maybe
that
they
we
know.
fast forward through.
Yeah,
I
like when
think
they
everyone-
have the celebrity guest,
No
and
one
they
wanted
always
to.
die.
They always
killed
die,
them,
yeah.
And
Then
I'm
they
like,
just did
that's not
something else.
interesting. I think one of them was like Simon Pegg, and they had Simon Pegg come up, and I'm like, I just want Simon Pegg on the show.
Yeah.
Right? Like what? Yeah. Okay. So they got rid of the tent.
They got rid of the tent. It's gone. So now they're doing what they used to do in Top Gear. They used to go on.
Yeah. There's like journeys.
adventures,
Like
yeah.
you get like cheap cars and they fix them up.
So that is what they're
Oh.
doing this entire season. They got rid
Oh
of the
man,
tent.
that is awesome.
What's your favorite location so far?
the U.S. It was in Top Gear though. It was in when they went to United States of America. You don't remember that one?
I remember they went there like at least twice. The one where they got the Mustangs then.
Or
They
like
did
only
that.
American
Well, last
cars.
week they were in Detroit, and
Oh,
they
cool.
were Richard had a Challenger, obviously. James Bay had the Mustang. No, he had the Camaro, and Jeremy Clarkson had the Mustang, which I love.
Yeah. Richard has
a
a
Ford
Mustang.
guy.
I
He's a
have
Ford
a
guy.
Mustang.
And it looks amazing. Maybe we'll post pictures of
It's
it.
an orange one.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
beautiful.
orange.
Yeah. It's very pretty. Yeah, I loved. I'm not a huge like car fan, but this made me want to be more into cars. And then I really loved the chemistry between Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond and
Just three
James
old
May.
people.
They're three
I
old
like-
dudes that are
yeah.
hilarious as hell.
I like old dudes that are funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Forget the
like
young people.
Anytime somebody like really enjoys something, like they enjoy cars, they can make you enjoy it as well. You're like, man, I dig the way you do this show because you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, you really.
So you can
truly
tell
love
that
it.
like it's like three good friends just having a good time hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's
Kind of like
Guys,
doing a podcast.
This podcast
Exactly.
right now, excluding Ginnye.
Well, she's like the cameraman.
Yeah.
I feel so
Or-
bad.
She's with
Yeah.
the Stig. She's
Yeah.
the Stig.
She's the Stig.
Yes.
Although they
She's
don't
the
do
Stig.
that anymore either.
No, they
they
don't.
have.
They got the redneck dude.
No, they don't. It's
Oh,
a
they-
girl driver,
What?
and she's great. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Cool. Good for
Is
them.
it? Is
They
it?
got
What's her name? The NASCAR. I bet it. Like. Is
Danica Patrick?
It is not.
It's
Danica
not
Patrick.
Danica
It is not
Patrick.
Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend.
Well,
Yeah.
are they still
Do we know
together?
though? Does she wear?
They
a
are
helmet?
still together. Yeah, I think.
Hey, Aaron?
Does she wear a helmet and like disguise herself?
No, she doesn't. She wears a helmet, but she has the flappy thing open on her.
Flappy.
I mean,
flappy.
so it
It's
could
like,
be
look at
Danica
my
Patrick,
lady
though,
eyes.
Is what I'm saying.
Seductive as
Like
hell.
the Stig is supposed to be the best driver. If it was Danica Patrick, it would be awesome.
Is it the
I
Sting
don't think
or
he's
the
the best
Stig?
driver.
The Stig.
It's the Stig.
Okay, that's what I said. That's what I thought. I heard Sting, and I'm like, that's a different thing. That's the lead singer of the Police.
But yeah.
Which is
Anyway,
fun.
Anyway, we don't watch
Grand Tour
Top
is
Gear
super
anymore.
awesome.
We
Top
watch
Gear's
Grand
over.
Tour.
Yeah, I don't even
Just
know
for
who
the people who.
is on Top Gear.
Yeah. What else are you guys watching these days, or what else are you doing?
True Detective.
Oh, True Detective.
Watching
That's a good
that.
one.
They also did a Dungeons and Dragons thing on the last episode.
Really?
Nice,
pretty
that's my
cool.
jam.
I don't understand that show. People like tell me I should watch it, and I'm
Okay,
like,
so-
okay, I know titties. Everybody knows titties. in
Rachel
that
May
show.
Adam titties.
She's
right?
great, yeah.
But then Dungeons and Dragons. What is that show
I
actually
think
about?
it's because
It
Yes,
has to
tell
do
us.
with the murder. So I don't want to go into it because you guys haven't watched, but it's a part of the murder that has happened this season.
what year is this season in?
2000s, 1980s, I think. Yeah.
2000.
Well, she's in the background, but-
so it's not real
It's
time.
No.
So it's past, future, and like in the middle there. I don't know. What would you call in the middle there? It's got the past, the future.
Present?
Pass.
Oh, I don't think it's. It doesn't.
I'm here. I'm I'm
Past.
ready.
Future. What's that? What's the thing that happens between the two? I don't know.
I don't. It's not. It doesn't. No, it doesn't have to. It's not what you guys think.
No,
it's not
I get
past,
it.
future,
It's like-
present. It's like past, and then there's a certain part in the middle. What happens, and you have to kind of like figure it out for yourself because they don't talk about it a lot. Here it is. It's
Okay.
1980s. Then
That's the
10
one
years later,
now.
and
Yeah.
then 20 years later.
Oh, okay.
But
that
it's
makes
it's
sense.
really
Thank
good.
you,
I
Ginnye,
like.
who
Thank you,
is
Ginnye.
now our little.
Yeah, she can't
producer.
talk, but I like the season line. And for True Detective, you don't have to really watch the first season
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
second
they're not
season
tied together.
to figure
yeah.
out
All
the
separate.
third season. They're all separate. They're all their own story.
It's kind of like that. What's the one with the creepy like witch people or the circus people or the
Oh, American Horror Story.
American Horror Story?
Yeah.
That's
like
kind of, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's what they're trying to get at. And
Yeah.
To make
this
it
season is probably,
intriguing,
even though
whatever.
it's what 4 episodes in. I think this is my favorite season. First season was great. Second season was they try to fill too much into there. Like there's too many character stories, and you would have gotten lost
Okay.
if you weren't into it, and you probably would have stopped watching. But
Yeah.
season 3 is my favorite.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
so
like,
if like
you
you,
know-
came in on season 2, you would say, okay, I don't know
You
what
would
the
hate True
fuck
Detective.
is
Yeah.
going on. But I've always heard like such great things about the first season. I mean, it's Matthew McConaughey. I mean,
He's not in
First
all the
season,
seasons.
yeah.
Right? He's just
And
in
Woody
one.
Harrelson.
Okay.
Yeah, they stopped. They don't do.
Yeah.
Season 2
So
was
there's literally
two
no tie
completely-
between any other
exactly.
seasons. It's just story after story. Okay.
Which
I mean,
makes
that's
me
awesome.
think for because I haven't seen any of the seasons, but if they have a Dungeons and Dragons episode in the 80s, that probably means that they're doing like a Satanic Panic kind of thing.
They are, yes.
Got
that's
it.
True. That's true. Yep, that is right.
So I'm excited about it. I want to watch it now.
And have you guys
for sure.
have you guys seen season 1 or 2?
No,
No, we
I haven't
have
seen
seen
any
nothing.
You
of
don't
them.
even have to
Right.
watch season 1 and then skip
I
season 2.
may have seen a titty recap.
No, he saw it on the internet. He was looking at Rachel McAdams and titties.
And that was I mean, if
That
you guys,
is the only exposure I've had to the show.
Right.
and that's season 1 and 2. But you guys
Ooh.
can skip season 2. I think it was.
Wait.
Watch it.
Are there no titties in season 3?
Not season 3.
Yeah,
not
it's
yet.
only episode
So it
3.
stands on its own.
There could be
That's what
D&D
you're saying.
titties.
There's not. But
D4s.
not yet.
Is what I like to call them.
It's some
That's
fat
fine.
kid from the 80s.
Yeah, it's a chunk, and he's doing the truffle shuffle. That's what's going on.
Oh man, let's not sexualize that in our podcast.
No, yeah, I don't
So
like that.
moving on, True Detective, awesome. We should watch it.
Awesome
Everybody
show.
should. Yeah.
Season
Yeah.
1's great. Season 3's even better. Season 2
Dope.
is okay. It's not that great, but
But that's okay. We'll still watch it potentially. So Grand Tour, True Detective.
no, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm watching right now. And
Dope. Yeah.
Cool.
We started watching Fairy Tale again. That was
Yeah.
super awesome. Yeah.
Fairy tale,
Yeah.
anime.
We're gonna get the tattoos, right? Fairy
Yeah.
Tale. If you like anime and you want to get an anime tattoo, and
Fairy
you
Tale
watch Fairy
makes it
Tale,
easy.
it makes it super easy because you're like,
Super
hey, half the show's about people who have tattoos and they have a particular tattoo. Let's get that.
I mean, Full Metal Alchemist. Everyone has tattoos now. but,
Yes, I like that too. And you know what tattoo I want to get from that is like Mustang's glove.
oh yeah, I'd want that too.
But I have to get to a point in my life where I can have tattoos in my
On your
hand
hand?
and people don't
Yeah.
judge me.
Right, which is the main reason why I can't get a Lucy tattoo because she's
It's
got
on her
like a
fucking
pink
hand.
symbol on her hand. And I'm like,
you can
okay,
put it
bitch.
somewhere else.
I have a rule until I'm like 50 or the CEO of like some fucking company, I can't have tattoos past my goddamn elbow, or else people are gonna judge you.
Just
it's
wear
a
gloves
sad
all the
world.
time.
It's a sad world we live
You
in.
can
I
wear
think
gloves.
people would judge you if you
They
did
would
If I
judge you
wore gloves, I
more
don't think anyone
Oh,
for
would.
the gloves.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we
Yeah.
watched The Haunting of Hill House, and one of the people wears gloves all the time, and you're like, why the fuck is she wearing gloves all the time? And it's part of her backstory.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
But yeah, we're gonna watch Fairy Tale again. Watch it all the way through because
We-
season 9 is coming out right now
Right now.
in Japan. For anybody who's interested in Fairy Tale and anime, it should be done. I think by the end of the year, they said everything should be out on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
time to
And
catch up.
we got back into watching Fairy Tale because we were watching a new anime called Black Clover, which we talked about
last
briefly
week, yeah.
in our last episode, and we want to dedicate
It's
more
so dope.
time to Shonen Jump just in general.
We're gonna do a Shonen Jump podcast, yeah.
Yeah, where we talk about all that, but we had there's a lot of correlation between Fairy Tale, we think, and Black Clover. So, if
Yeah.
you like any of those, you like Naruto, you like Bleach, whatever, we recommend both of those animes as well.
Yeah.
Black Clover and Fairy Tale.
Short of that, I don't think we're watching anything new. We mentioned Anthony Bourdain a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
Yes,
I watched, so this
Parts
past
Unknown.
week, I was actually sick because of the Phlegm King over here.
And I drank out of a straw.
You
one
did?
day,
Were you sick,
so
though? Did you get
I
sick?
did not get sick. I'm not
You're
about
welcome.
Marvel.
Time.
Yeah, it's happening though. It's gonna happen. But we watched Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, and so we were watching that, which is obviously bittersweet because he's no longer with us.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Rest in
But it's
peace.
so good, and it's just like it's opened up so many new places for us to go, foods for us to
Yeah, and
eat.
when we start doing some more cooking stuff, like when we get back into the cooking topic, we'll probably talk a lot more about Anthony Bourdain. So
Yeah, potentially for
You
sure.
guys have
he's
been
our
to,
cooking spirit. So
You guys have been to a
yeah.
restaurant he's been to here. It was Canless.
Yeah.
So-
Canless.
Yeah, we've been to a couple restaurants that he's been to here, I think, because
That's
we went
cool.
to some
We
others,
walked
and-
past one last night, right?
He's been to
Yeah,
more
we
rest-
walked past another
What
too.
restaurants has he been to here?
In the layover series, he went to some restaurant.
Right. Fuck, what's
I
that
can't
series?
remember
Was he
what
at
it
Paseo?
was. It's near your store, which you can do a shout out for your store if you wanted to.
If you want, you don't have to.
You break, I fix. Get your phone fixed.
Get your phone fixed.
That was fucking great. Do they say that?
No.
No? Okay, you just invented that for
Get
corporate.
your phone fixed.
Corporate, if you're
We're
hearing
partnering
that.
with Samsung,
Yeah.
Google. Probably
What's
gonna
it-
get Apple soon. We'll see. That
Dude,
should
that'd
be
be
next
dope as
year.
hell.
Yep.
Oh, he was just in a layover episode for Seattle.
So that was that's when he went to Canless,
Yeah, he also went somewhere else.
And he also went to Morsel.
The Walrus.
Morsel was the one, yeah.
If you haven't been to Morsel,
in the U
it's
district,
great.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you are in Seattle, it's a biscuit breakfast place.
Well,
Nice.
I love a good biscuit.
And it's great.
Yeah. You would know, right? You've been there, right? Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
it's
We
good.
need to go to that
also
one.
opened a new restaurant called Koa. It's in their old spot, which used to be Morsel, but then they moved their Morsel spot across the street in the new building. But they now have 2 breakfast restaurants.
Oh, same people.
Yeah, they're capitalizing.
Hey,
in the
capitalism.
breakfast market.
Breakfast market. We need more.
We do need more breakfast places around here. Honestly.
Yeah. And we're pro free market capitalism.
We are.
Just like in the episode of Anthony Bourdain where I think they're in Nigeria, they're in Lagos, and it's all about
Hell yeah.
free market capitalism. It's pretty
Exactly.
Cool.
So that was good. Other than that, we've been kind of lame because we were sick. So
Yeah,
Not
we've
doing
really
anything
just
fun.
been watching that and watching Fairy Tale now.
yeah, I was playing Fable for a minute, but I stopped doing that because of sickness. So and travel,
Down with the
which
sickness.
sucks. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Are we gonna do any other hotcakes, or are we moving on?
I mean, Richard,
guys
do you have
talked about-
anything else?
I honestly can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. I don't know
Well,
if you
yes.
guys have...
Then that is a huge topic, and we are totally going to do a dedicated podcast
Okay,
to
I'm
it.
sorry.
To it. No, you can talk about it though. Like, are you excited about?
I
Like,
have had this pre-ordered for about 3 months, maybe 4 months now,
Yeah,
and
So
I cannot
excited.
wait for it
Yeah.
to come out.
yeah.
we had it
I mean,
pre-ordered, I think, for a year, and then
Over
it
a
never
year.
came out. It was like 2 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
And
when
then we
they
were like,
originally-
we're
yeah.
just gonna cancel it
Yeah.
and maybe just buy it when it comes out.
Well, so because we had it pre-ordered for like the digital copy, but I realized that our pre-order had said, "Where do you want it sent?" It was an address that we lived at like 2 years ago. It's been over 2 years. It was in I'm not gonna say where we lived, but yeah, I almost did. But yeah, it was like that was our problem is we had pre-ordered it to get sent there,
See,
and it's like holy shit, it's been that long.
Yeah,
It's
it's been a
too long.
while, and
But,
they've
you know-
come out with games in between then.
Because I want a hard copy of it too.
Well, so I
want the
think
hard
like
copy,
the main reason why it's
deluxe.
taken so long for it to come out is that the creator of Kingdom Hearts is also the creator. He worked a lot on Final Fantasy VII, and so he was working a lot on doing the
15
remastered
too.
7 and 15, I believe. I know
Yeah, we
7
don't know
for sure,
exactly,
like-
and we should actually maybe we should talk to Gaming and Groceries. They probably know.
Yeah, they probably know for sure.
Yeah. But I think another part of it in there too is Disney is always trying to say, okay, let's push this and this and this right in the game, and they're like, well, we just spent like 4,000 hours developing this, and now you're telling us we need to add this other new movie that you're coming out with. It's like,
Potentially, yeah, that might be it. I think it does.
from
have
what I
a lot
heard,
to
that
do
had a lot
with
of effect with some of the other games.
Yeah, I think it might
So-
also have a bigger deal with the main creator. He had a lot of extra work that had to go into remastering Final Fantasy VII.
Well, yeah, that would take
which
a lot
I
of
think
work,
is
yeah.
still is that even out? I don't think
No,
so.
the remastered's not out. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think that is out either. So they're still coming out with it. So I think like they had to change up their priority, and now they're finally coming out with Kingdom Hearts with 3.
Because I remember the Final Fantasy VII remastered. They had a short video for the launch of the PlayStation 4.
So I used
Or
to
the launch of the PlayStation 3, it might have
Yeah.
been. It was like so long
Yeah.
ago. Anyways, Final Fantasy VII, they've been advertising it, the remaster, for so long. They're not going to do it.
I don't think they'll do it.
It's never going to
honestly.
actually come out.
I
I
think
think
a
it will.
Final Fantasy X remake will come out before Final Fantasy VII.
Which I
they
would
need
buy.
to do a remake of Final Fantasy X.
I would love if there was, honestly.
I
I don't think they
to.
need to,
Right, because I think you could just play it.
and the graphics
Yeah.
are still
I
pretty
still
good and
play it.
relevant.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
what
not
we-
available on like the PS
It's-
network.
yeah, it's
That's
not,
the thing.
yeah.
That's what they need to do is they need to just make it available download,
Right.
which take way less work than remastering
Just
it.
remaster it.
Just
Great
remaster
game,
10 too.
by the way.
10-2
No.
as well is also not available. And we were talking about this
We
today.
were talking about this today.
Because Raven is like, that's a fashion-based Final Fantasy. Why have I not played
Well,
it?
we
And she
played-
literally
we
did
started
like
playing,
this thing.
No,
right?
I did not
Yes, she did.
snap in Z formation. I was like, why have I not finished it? Because we started it after we
I
played
started
10.
10-2, and then I didn't finish it
It's
either.
Jesse's favorite fucking Final Fantasy.
10-2.
No,
Who's
no.
your favorite?
10 is my favorite, but I really like 10
His
too.
favorite is 10-2.
10
he
is my
loves
favorite.
the
10 is
fashion-based
the best.
mechanics.
I love
10
10.
2, though, is actually really, really, really good.
It's really good. It's all
I
the
love
girls.
how you have to get
Ladies.
the
It
whole...
is
Of
always.
course it is.
And then they
It's
just throw
all
pain in
titties.
there because they're like,
No, just
they're
kidding.
like, Lulu isn't good enough, I guess, so they threw pain in there, right? Well, I guess because you have to have somebody like
Right.
beat shit down.
Yeah. hard-hitting.
You probably don't even remember anymore, but...
I do. I remember Pain. I mean, she's their goth girlfriend.
But our 10-2 disc is scratched. That's our problem.
That's why you can't finish it,
That's
of
why
course.
you can't finish it,
Exactly.
Take it to GameStop. I think they have like a scratch warranty on it. Remember when they were selling that?
Oh, yeah. I remember when like you could buy like a $40, $50 like thing that should repair scratches or whatever on your disc.
That's what it was.
Yeah, this doesn't actually do anything.
Literally
I
does
talked
nothing.
to people who worked at GameStop and they said they were just selling it to...
Hey, Adam from Games and Groceries used to work at GameStop. He talks about his time at GameStop a lot, and he talks about that shit a lot too. Where he's like, "Guys, this place sucks." I'm sorry.
But to cut a long story short, because I do feel like we're gonna get really off topic if we keep going this way.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. We are going to definitely talk about that a shit ton.
Very soon.
Yeah.
29th.
That comes out the 29th.
Yep, that is a month. Yeah.
Yeah, which is actually when this podcast releases.
Oh, the day of. Okay, so we're definitely going to put this in the podcast then. Definitely buy Kingdom Hearts. Everybody buy a copy.
You better have it pre-ordered.
Yep. Have it pre-ordered, digital download, however you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Get it.
You need the physical copy. You
gotta have it in your hands.
I'm sorry, it's just
you
something
gotta lick it. You gotta taste it. Taste it in person. Have all those senses.
Buy both, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
You buy both.
I mean, or else you're going to be, I think recently there's a lot of controversy about, like, not having a physical copy of a game, and then they stop producing or having you have access to it online.
Yeah, so they pull it from the store. They did that recently. Xbox
I can't remember.
did it,
I can't remember what game it was.
They pulled something from the store, and, like, so unless you had it installed on your system already, which, you know, we have limited storage, right? So I have, like, tons of stuff in the store ready to download whenever I want to play them.
But if they take it off...
But if they take it off, you're screwed.
Up.
You're fucked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
get a physical copy. I mean, this is a
physical
game
copies
that you
are
want
still better.
to have a physical copy of.
Yeah.
Any Final Fantasy related game, you should have a physical copy anyway.
Anything by Square Enix, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where gaming is. But yeah, so let's jump into our theme, because we've talked a lot about some hot takes.
Yeah, and it's coming up, y'all.
It is, and our theme this week is going to be football, not foosball. Football.
Not foosball.
Football.
But we might have a foosball related podcast at some point. No.
Okay, no.
Okay.
Richard's going to be in it. He's going to talk about all the episodes of Friends where they play foosball.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I love Friends.
Okay, I was thinking we get a foosball table, we name everybody, and we have an episode.
You should just have one podcast Friends related.
We have actually talked about Friends in every episode of this podcast.
Well,
I think to make up that we talked shit about. I talked shit about it.
Yeah, in our first episode, we went down on
$100 million is way too expensive for Friends, which we'll talk about again.
I think it is a lot. I think The Office is worth more than that, but
which their renewal on Netflix is coming up, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, why they're tossing this documentary at them, because they're trying to like circle jerk and say, hey.
Yeah, you could just say masturbate. You don't have to do the motion to us.
Yeah, he basically masturbated.
He just masturbated at the podcast table,
and then he just did this motion at me.
They're trying to stroke the dick of the people in the office to say, "Don't rake us over the coals for money when your shit comes up. We love you guys anyways. Here's this free documentary."
Wait, Netflix is doing this?
Yeah, it's a Netflix documentary. Yeah.
Netflix is doing it? I didn't know that. I thought it was just The Office people putting it out there.
No, Netflix documentary coming out.
That's pretty cool.
About The Office.
Netflix is...
According to Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration.
Yeah. Bob Vance.
Vance Refrigeration.
What line of work you in, Bob? Okay, so getting into our theme this week, football. The Super Bowl is coming up. It is a few days from now when this podcast comes out.
Yeah, this Sunday, February 3rd.
Yep.
Is when it is. I don't know what time it is. Check your fucking local TV stations.
It is 3:30 Pacific. No, it's 3:30.
God damn it! This is the problem I was gonna have. We don't know.
It is 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific.
I don't think it's 6:30. That seems so late.
That's
it is
3 hours
Eastern.
Of time zones.
6:30 Eastern.
I thought you were saying 6:30 Pacific Standard.
For the people on the right side of the United States of America.
I mean, is it their right or our right?
It's the correct side for us. It's 3:30.
This makes no sense.
If you're staring at Trump's border wall, it's to your left. If you're standing towards... If you're staring at the maple syrup, it's to your right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like
that's
that.
a good way to put it, I guess.
That's how it works.
3:30 p.m.
All right, so it's the Patriots versus the Rams, which we
Gross.
talked about last week. We talked about how the Rams won it in the end. Seems like I think the city of New Orleans is suing.
I think they are suing.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I think
Yeah.
they're
Really?
suing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean it's obviously a pass interference is what.
It is
Babies.
a PI, and I think they got cheated.
And
Yeah,
they
we
would've
were watching
won.
the game. It was a crazy, like, out
last
of nowhere
couple,
the Rams won.
last
right?
couple of minutes, it was overtime. Shouldn't even have happened.
If the pass interference hadn't
They
happened,
would've
hadn't
won.
have happened, they would have
They
won.
would have won.
And if they had gotten the ball back, the
I
Saints
think-
would have won.
Yeah, and the Saints should be in the Super Bowl. And
Yeah.
I don't think.
I think they're a
going to
better team.
be. I think the only reason
We're all Drew Brees fans, right?
Yeah,
We like-
are. We
But
like
we're-
we like
Brees.
Drew Brees.
But we're also all Todd Gurley fans, right?
We like Todd.
We
Gurley.
like Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
He went to UGA, so I mean,
That's why we like him.
Yeah.
Richard
he was
may
when
like
I
him just
went to
because he's a
school.
good running
He's a
back.
good
was
running
in
back.
school.
Yeah. So yeah, like, you know, it's a tough call. You want both teams to go,
Yeah.
and you feel bad.
But then also
When the
the
Rams are
Patriots
like-
are in the Super Bowl.
I hate the Patriots.
Yeah, let's talk about
Everybody
the other team.
hates
the other
the
team.
Patriots.
No,
Except for Jesse.
no, the
then
Patriots are
our-
great. Go
Anyone
Patriots.
who lives in Boston, which includes like half of the Avengers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. See, oh my God, the Patriots are seriously America's team.
They are
no,
not.
shut up. No, that's the Cowboys,
Okay.
and the Cowboys. Everybody
Cowboys
hates
aren't
them
even
too.
America's
No,
team.
no.
Everybody hates
No.
the Cowboys still. Well, let's
Nobody
do
likes
this
the Cowboys.
before we really get into the Super Bowl. We probably have a lot of listeners that maybe either don't really know that much about football,
Or want to know more.
or want to know, or want to go to a Super Bowl,
And the
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl,
party,
yeah, the
and
Super
they
Bowl's
don't know
one
what
of
they're
those
doing.
things. Definitely, if you don't even like football, make sure you watch it on the 3rd, because the Super Bowl is a
The
different thing
commercials,
altogether.
At least.
Yeah.
Commercials are great.
You watch it for the
They're so
commercials and just the environment of the Super Bowl and
It's so
seeing the
much
teams go
fun.
together and seeing a lot of the panning when they go to like the other people in the crowd, and you see how like live everything kind of is.
Yeah, how
everything
pumped
is.
everybody is
Yeah.
about football.
And if you go,
It'll make you want to get into
into
football more.
because Patriots again.
Because
so-
who needs
Right.
to see the
Are
Patriots
they actually?
in
Are
another
they?
Super
Are they
Bowl?
lowering ticket
They are
values?
lower now than they.
Dude, let's hope they make it another year,
No,
and then we
fuck
can afford
off.
to go.
I don't wanna
Finally,
go
we
watch
could
the
go.
Patriots.
No,
You don't wanna go to
nobody
Super Bowl,
wants to
though?
go
I do
see-
want to go to a Super Bowl
See?
if it
Not
has
with
a
the
team that I want
Patriots.
to watch.
Okay,
Yeah.
keep the Patriots going, and then we can eventually afford
It's
to go to
like a
Super
bucket
Bowl.
list item. You go to a Super Bowl, but it's for if
You
the
also,
Patri-
yeah.
if the
My
Patriots
bucket
are
list
there,
is Super Bowl 50-yard line right there.
with the Patriots on it for
With
you.
the Patriots.
I mean,
For me, I don't want to see the Patriots again.
with
Let's-
Tom Brady Patriots.
But let's go back
But
to
let's talk about football.
If you're going to a Super Bowl party, what's something that you need to come to the party knowing at least? Like, what is the bare
Both
minimum
teams
that
that
they
are
should?
playing.
Both teams that
Okay.
are playing. That's true. Maybe they're starting quarterbacks.
Starting
I think,
quarterbacks.
which
yeah.
for the Patriots is Tom
Obviously,
Brady.
Tom Brady, the king.
He's
Who is
been
it for
there,
Rams,
like,
though?
what,
He's a
50
robot.
years, yeah.
Yeah, there's a picture of him aging in an attic somewhere while he's just continuously staying robotic and young. But him, and then who's the quarterback for the Rams?
Jared
It's
Goff.
Jared Goff. Yeah.
Goff, who's a younger guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also been
the-
sacked 33 times this year. Which
Oh
is,
my fucking
Oh.
god.
Wow.
Yeah, hopefully you
That's a
pick up
lot.
a little bit from this conversation. That's a lot.
You can
Richard,
take
I
this
will
over
say,
to you.
yeah, because Richard knows so much more than Jesse and I know about football. That's why we wanted him on this podcast, because we actually were in a fantasy league together.
Let's tell everybody a secret about Richard. And it's that he uses his phone in the shower.
I do use my phone in the shower. and-
Which
to
is
tinker
really weird.
To
with his
tinker.
fantasy football
Right.
league.
He's
How's
into
that
football. He is looking
He
at
doesn't
football
put it
stuff.
in a bag or anything.
I don't put it in a bag or anything. I
he
believe if
barebacks
the phone,
it.
if the phone comes as it is, it should be able to go anywhere with you. And honestly, that should be a shower. I mean,
It should be a shower.
It makes sense.
it
It's
does.
really weird. It's the weirdest thing that he
utility
does.
Right.
for you to use
Right,
anywhere
but
you
that
go.
is what made him #1 in our league until
That is.
the.
And honestly, this
It
year
depends
I
on
didn't,
how you look at it. He might be second from the bottom.
that is
Yeah,
true,
while
yeah.
you're #1.
Number one. Exactly.
Me and Jesse were in 2 leagues this year, and Jesse was #1 in the other league that we were in. But in the league that Raven was in with both of us,
Yeah.
I was #1 and she was #2.
Yes. And Jesse was last.
I think we got cheated in that league, but I'll save that.
Ginnye, who's over here in our orange chair, was third before we went to the playoffs.
Yes, she did well all on her own.
All on her own. She had nobody influencing her team at all.
That is true. She did
which
it all
is
on her
feminism.
own. She's great.
Yeah,
honestly.
she's great. She learns.
She's great at fantasy football. She enjoys it.
You guys should at least mention fantasy football when you guys do a podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk. No.
You guys should.
But, so...
#females.
So... Yeah, you almost
Careful.
shattered
I
the
almost
last
shattered
table.
You guys
the
are
table.
taking this table with you.
Yeah, we're taking it with us.
I'll move it over there.
So when you're going, let's get back to, we'll go back to fantasy football. So when you're going to a Super Bowl party you want to know the quarterbacks. Is there any rules that you think are really important for?
I think every time a flag is thrown, you get mad. Even if you don't know what is happening, you get mad.
You just get pissed off.
Just get mad.
You're like,
it shows
that's
that
bullshit.
The refs are always wrong.
The refs are always wrong.
Unless it's the first female ref playing.
That's true. She cannot do it anymore.
Is she doing the Super Bowl?
I don't know. She did the first. She was the first female ref in a
playoff game.
Yeah, and you know the pictures of her, she looks pretty good.
She's hot.
Yeah,
she's sexy as hell.
She's pretty young.
Yeah. She looks pretty good for a ref, right? Like most of the refs are old white dudes.
Yeah, which are not sexy. I'm ready to sex up my refs.
And I think female refs they have less to throw a flag to. They don't have anything writing on the game. I feel like
that's true.
Well, okay, that might be a little bit sexist, right? Like she maybe likes football.
Men.
Our women and all that stuff.
Screw men refs.
We're all excited that there is a female ref. I don't think there should be any boundaries between refs. Who cares?
I think we should. Yeah.
But yeah.
I got a rule. People should know when they go to a Super Bowl party, though.
Well, what's the deal?
There are 4 downs.
Yeah, what do the 4 down means? Yeah, what do they mean? What's your first down?
Yeah. The downs are you have to get your ball 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
To get to a new, I don't know what they call it, but new.
Did you fart?
It's a fucking chair.
It's because
he did it to me.
I did it to her. Yeah.
Is the chair.
Anyways,
but if you don't get past 10 yards,
then you have to punt the ball.
Right. Then you're into the second down, the third down, the fourth down. You just have to get those 10 yards to reset the down.
7th down.
No.
As long as you're at
4 downs, it turns over to the other team. Just know that.
Yes. 4 downs. They're usually punting it or they're trying to get a field goal.
But you have to be at least on the
35
yard of the opponent.
Okay.
I've seen further,
it depends on the kicker.
How do you pronounce the name for the kicker for the Englands? Anybody? New England?
The Englands?
The
Patriots.
That's the guy. That's her cousin.
The kicker for the Patriots is one of the best kickers in the league.
That's not
But
true.
I'm not
no,
even.
I thought
No,
he went to a different
he's great.
team.
He's super awesome.
And his name is Adam Vinatieri, and he plays for the Colts.
He plays for the Colts now, yeah.
The kicker for New England is Steven Gostkowski.
Yeah.
Seth Musikowski.
I wasn't even going to try and say it because I feel like it got Stikowski.
And we've already made it known in Co-Op the podcast that we do not know how to say names. We have no idea what we're doing.
We're not professionals in saying names.
We're not professionals.
But yeah, one of the better kickers. Maybe we're talking like the 40... 45. His career longest, I think, is from like closer to 50.
At least 60.
I wonder what his career longest is.
Damn, 60? That's so far, though. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we were more into soccer, maybe we could compare.
Okay, so that's a rule to know. What's the distance between the goalpost and the 0? It's like 15, right? Or is it 10? I can't remember.
In 0?
I'm trying to look up his career long right now.
Yeah, I'll look this up. Hold on.
It is 62. His career long is 62.
His career long is 62. But that doesn't matter if you're going to a Super Bowl party.
17 yards. That's the distance from the goalpost.
You don't have to know that either.
Start of the end zone.
Nobody's going to ask you for that.
Here's the thing. So when we're saying
ask you anything about field goals, no one's ever going to ask you.
But here's why you need to know it. Because when you're saying from the 35, it's not a 35-yard field goal. It's a 35 plus 17.
But nobody's really going to ask you for that information.
No.
But over a chicken
honestly,
game.
I think kicker should be...
Right, but when we're saying his career-long field goal is 60 yards, that means
60
it was...
62.
62, that means it was made from, what's 62 minus 17?
We're not here for math.
We're not here for kickers.
We're not here for kickers at all. Nobody at a Super Bowl party is going to ask you for Seth Musikowski's.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Steven
Goskowski.
Oh, Seth Goskowski.
It was made from the 45.
Honestly,
it was made
I think
from the 45-yard line.
Who is the Rams kicker?
Greg the Leg. Greg Zuerlein.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah,
just going to be quiet for like maybe a
His
couple
nickname
seconds.
is Greg the Leg, and he's probably the best kicker in the NFL right now.
Oh, good. Maybe that's how they'll win.
I'm saying
That's how they win, I
Goskowski
would
has a
really
very
win.
long career of making long field goals.
He's old, though.
And that is also
The
another
kickers can
important thing
last
to
a
know
lot
when you're going to
longer.
your Super
Kickers
Bowl
can
party.
Adam Vinatieri is almost 45, so...
What's the kicker for, I think it's Matt Bryant?
Matt Bryant
Is
Oh
like
my God, he's
100
like
years
140
old.
He's
He
in his
plays for the
40s.
Falcons,
Yeah.
and he is very old. I think it might
Yeah,
be
yeah,
in
no,
his-
he uses a walker now. Yeah, I think.
He does. I actually think that he might be having like a ton of surgery right now.
He's
so.
also 5'9", which is...
Okay,
gives me hope.
okay. We just pulled this up.
He's
we just pulled this
43.
up. Yeah, he's 43. We thought he was ancient. He's 43.
He's 43.
He's 5'9".
Adam
well, remember-
Vinatieri is older.
He is. I think he's almost 45.
He's 46. Is that
He's
say 45?
46? He's 46.
He's 46
Wow.
years
My
old.
God.
Wow.
Kickers last forever.
They last
Their
so
shelf
long.
life
Dude,
is a
yeah.
long time.
Wow.
Yeah. You could bring that up at a Super Bowl party, guys.
Yeah, talk
But
about
also, Tom Brady is 40.
it.
So
Well, Tom
that
Brady's
is-
an all-star. He
Yeah,
can
that
play
is a
until he's
headline.
a million.
If you are at a Super Bowl party, Tom Brady is really old.
He's really old. Big Ben. Big Ben is
He's
really
not old, no.
Yeah, yes,
Another
he's
thing
like
at a
the same
Super Bowl
age.
party, if we're going to talk about stuff you can talk about, Tom Brady may retire after this year.
Thank God.
I don't think he retires
Go to
after
bed.
this year. I
It
It
thought
comes
he
up every
plays.
year that they go to the Super
Oh, shit,
Bowl.
he's
If
only
they win a
36.
Super
Ben
Bowl,
Roethlisberger
he's
is
gonna,
only 36.
Drew Brees
Drew
is
Brees
40.
is 39.
Oh, he's about to be? It
Yeah.
says
he'll
40.
turn 40 soon,
Is
I
he
think.
really?
Aaron Rodgers is
Drew
35,
Brees
though.
is 40 years old.
Wait,
Sorry.
when's his birthday?
hold
When's
on.
his birthday?
So let's think
January
about this,
15th.
though.
He just turned 40?
Okay, so Big Ben,
That
though,
is good.
Ben Roethlisberger, who's the quarterback for the Steelers, is 36. Aaron,
He looks
Aaron
old.
Rodgers is 35.
Oh
He
my
does
God.
not look that old.
They should be further
You don't think
apart
Aaron
in
Rodgers
life.
looks 35?
I don't think he looks 35. I think he looks.
No, no, but-
older than that.
Oh
But
fuck,
Ben
maybe he
Roethlisberger-
does. Because
but
I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I like.
Well, let's not
He
talk
just-
about that.
Yeah, Jesse, almost gonna be 30. My man.
I'm
Yeah,
30.
Richard, 30
Yeah, Richard,
already.
30.
I don't act 30.
Have you done what
seem
Aaron Rodgers
30.
has done in life?
No, absolutely
See?
not.
Oh my God.
But
it
I think
sucks.
Aaron Rodgers looks older than 35.
I think it's because he fucked with Olivia Munn, and I don't know how old she is, but I don't.
She's like 30, 31
She has
now,
to be
yeah.
30 something now because I'm close to 30. I'm 27.
She's 38, and she's
What?
older
Oh.
than him.
Shit,
my
no
God.
fucking way.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about people's ages.
Okay,
Let's move
yeah,
on.
this is making me really sad.
Yeah.
So
She
if
looks
you're
great
going
for 38.
to one rule that I'll
What are
say
some
at
other
a
rules,
Super
yeah?
Bowl party is maybe if there's a guy that's like super into football or girl who's really into football, watching the game, trying to focus on the game, not
talk.
getting drunk, like doing shots. Don't ask him about the rules.
Yeah, don't ask him about the
You
rules.
have a phone. You have a smartphone.
You can look
look
it
up the rules.
I don't know. I think at the same time, I would enjoy telling somebody about the rules of
That's
football.
you. I think most people are like,
Well, I think
why
it-
are you here?
I
You
also
don't
expect
know.
my team to win the Super Bowl,
Right.
so...
Yeah, you don't even have to
Well,
watch
how
the
did
game.
last
Not
year
even
pan out
watching.
for you?
Hey.
The Eagles won
It's
last
like,
year against the
bitch.
Patriots, if you don't know. I think
Yeah.
the Patriots have been in the last, 3 years now, right?
Yeah, 3 years back
It
to
was,
back, or 4 years back
No,
to back.
there was a skip between, remember when
There
the
was a
So
skip,
last
yeah.
year it was him. It was him. I'm thinking Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady.
Tom Brady versus the Eagles, and then Tom Brady versus the Falcons.
Falcons. And then it was Peyton Manning's last year, which was
Oh
against
fuck, that was
the Panthers.
Yeah, the Broncos,
That
yeah.
seems
That was the
so
Broncos
long
against the
ago.
Panthers. That was Super Bowl 50.
There are some spots where the Patriots don't
If you
show
don't
up.
know who Peyton Manning is, though, let's do this. If you don't know who Peyton Manning is, though, he's the dude on the Papa John's
He's the
commercials.
mega mind of
No,
the
no,
NFL.
no.
Yeah,
Can't do
his-
that
his
anymore.
name
Papa
is-
John's isn't allowed to do commercials
No,
anymore
that's
on
okay.
TV.
I mean, that's okay. They have subpar pizza.
Okay.
Damn.
But he's got a potato
Let's do an
head.
episode where we rank pizza places.
I
Let's get
will
like 30
100%.
pizzas and just like
Yeah.
Yeah, one
we'll
by
just
everyone knows
eat.
the rules.
Yeah.
Because I actually think Papa John's is pretty good in some categories.
In some areas and
the
locations.
best,
I don't
the
think
best
Papa John's
pizza
is
you're
that
gonna
good.
order from like a fast
Domino's.
foodish type. No. Pizza
I like
Hut, man, with the
Domino's.
stuffed
I love
crust.
Domino's.
Stuffed crust.
Okay, I get it, stuffed crust, but I like the crusted Domino's.
Pizza Hut
they put, like,
invented the
Parmesan and
stuffed
garlic
crust.
And stuff.
I think Domino's is changing the game, and Pizza
Yeah.
Hut's not there yet. They may be the face of the NFL or the pizza of the NFL.
Pizza Hut is?
Pizza Hut is the sponsor
shit.
of the NFL. Yeah,
Why is Papa John's on there so much, though?
No, they're not anymore.
Because
Remember
of
they had that fallout.
the thing.
We don't talk about that.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We don't like
but
Papa.
Good
Papa,
Papa.
get out of here, Papa.
If you're at a Super Bowl party, it's going to be Pizza Hut because they are sponsored with the NFL. So
What's some other pizza? I don't know what other pizza joints are.
We got
CC's,
some-
Little Caesars?
no, we don't talk
Oh,
about those.
hot and
Caesars,
ready? If
Hot
you
and
don't like
Ready.
hot and ready, those
7-Eleven has.
I mean, you can't beat it.
pizza.
There we go, 7-Eleven pizza dish.
7-Eleven.
It
Let's
has
get
3
that.
cheeses,
Yeah.
and you will not be
Do you
disappointed.
know what cheeses those are? No.
You do not.
You do not.
You do not know what cheeses are in there. You'll have to go to the bathroom
Yeah.
afterwards.
But the Patriots have been in a lot of Super Bowls. Definitely know that about the Patriots
Yeah.
when you're going to a Super Bowl party. Everybody's going to hate on them because they're so
and
awesome.
You need to know that Tom Brady has 5 rings. He does have
5.
5 rings.
I thought it was 6, but
he
it's
thought
5.
it was 6. Yep.
He
Yeah.
is literally
He
the
has a
Mind Stone
gauntlet.
away from snapping
Yeah.
his fingers and
He's
making football his
41
bitch.
years old. Tom Brady.
I'm hoping he might just drop dead. on
He
the
might
field.
drop dead. He might.
Yeah.
There were
We
some
just
games
gotta
that
find
he
that
looked really
painting.
tired. I drafted him this year in fantasy football, which we'll probably get to, and he did not look good
We
this
will.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
let's
wasn't
see.
great. They had a
It was
mediocre
only
year.
this is the third one back to back, so it was 2
Third?
back to back.
Yeah,
It was the
3?
Broncos and the Panthers in 2016.
Right, and that was
That's
his
what I said.
year in
Yeah.
the middle, and
Yeah.
I think it might have been just for ratings, but that's another story.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then so I am also a fan of the Seahawks. They lost the year before in 2015. Yeah.
The Patriots, and we
To
were
the
we watched
Patriots,
that game.
and I think
Yeah.
that's when he became a Patriots fan. I mean,
No. I will tell you, I became a Patriots fan when I was young because I didn't like football when I was a kid, but my dad forced me to sit down and watch some games, and
your
I
dad
watched the
was
Patriots. No, I just watched the Patriots win. I can't remember what year it was.
I think
You
he
love
jumped
winning.
on a bandwagon.
I think he jumped on a bandwagon that 1 yard
I mean-
interception, 1 yard interception.
It was 2002.
I
It was
think that might be
2002.
when they had to start covering their mouth so that the Patriots
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh my God, it's 2002, and I'm just looking at this right now. They beat the Rams in the Super Bowl.
So yeah, they're coming. They're
Rams won in 2001.
With Kurt Warner.
With Court, yeah.
No. In
Court-
2001, the Ravens won the Super Bowl, which
Well,
it actually
it's
was
one
like a
of them.
first for the Ravens. I
Kurt
think.
Warner did win one.
He
with the
won
Rams,
one.
though.
I think it was either in the 2000s or in the early 90s or late 90s.
Yeah, I don't see the Rams on here.
The Rams had won though.
Yeah,
2000.
but that was
2000.
definitely the year
Y2K.
2002. I was about 12 years old. My dad made me watch the Super Bowl. The Patriots won. I was like, I'm gonna start watching football.
That's really funny because
And that's why I like the
hopefully
Patriots.
when our kids are older and
Tom
they're-
Brady's still in the
he's-
Super
yeah, and
Bowl.
he's
Still in the
in
Super Bowl, and he
No,
wins,
he's
and they'll be Patriots
no,
fans,
the
and then we got
Patriots
that.
will be bad. It's like the Raiders. Like my dad watched the Raiders when he was a kid, and they were really good, and that was when. And so I've had to follow along, and now I'm dealing with them being
And you're
shit.
still a Raiders fan,
And we're
right?
still a Raiders fan.
Yep.
There was the
We
Senior Bowl.
alluded to it in like a later episode or a previous episode.
Last episode.
We were gonna say like, hey, what fans we are? Ravens officially, and now everybody knows.
I'm a
She's
Raiders fan. No,
Didn't make it.
I've got a lot of Raiders.
Are you
We didn't want to
done?
wish bad juju on anybody. Mostly for me, I'm a Patriots fan.
I think
She's a
the
Raiders
Raiders
fan.
will do good next year.
Well, let's not
They
talk
will-
about it. I
yeah.
don't like to.
I don't know, man. Like literally since what's his name broke his leg.
Who?
So
Oh,
Derek Carr, like
yeah.
last
Right.
year.
And
Well, I
then
feel
once
like
he
Derek-
broke his leg, like
remember-
you were just like, who the
They're
fuck is
in
that guy now?
rebuilding gear. That's what I
Every
like
year,
to say.
he has-
Every year.
At the end of every year, he has an injury. It was the 1 year he had a tailbone injury, and
Yeah.
then he had the leg injury.
Yeah.
And I think next year they'll get somewhere. They were at the Senior Bowl this year, and he was putting Raider stickers on every
Really?
guy's
helmets.
helmet, yeah,
and,
decals.
So and they have a lot of draft picks, so I think they'll go somewhere this year.
I think
Next
so too.
year.
And
and
they
then
think John
here's the
Gruden's
thing
gonna
though,
do
is they're
okay.
making that move.
He's got 10 years. I mean,
No,
Man.
didn't they fire a coach some?
Well, yeah, they fired
the GM,
Oh, they fired the
The
GM,
GM.
Reggie.
Okay.
What's his face?
right?
Yeah, which is as a matter of
His name
fact,
may
it's a
not
little
be Reggie.
different than.
It might not be
firing.
Reggie.
I'm super casual about football. I used to know all these names before, but I've decided now that if I focus too much on football, I get really anxious, and it
and
just
look what happened in fantasy football this year.
I did not care at all.
Right, and you got far.
And I got real far. I picked players that I knew were good on teams that I knew were going to push it and get somewhere.
I think
that made... Yeah, you're just really bad.
My God.
You guys had the same record last year.
Hell? I won. I swear to God, I won like 4 or 5 years ago before either of you was in my league.
Yeah, before
That's
we
what he
even
said.
knew
Yeah,
you.
we didn't know him, so.
Yeah, I won.
She goes to a different school, guys.
Yeah. Well, like, so I won our league, like, what was it, 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago?
You say that. I didn't know you then.
Yeah, you didn't know, but Jesse was. Jesse was on that
She
league.
did win, yeah.
I did win.
I didn't want to believe it.
And it was pretty great. And then, well, let's get into fantasy football. So, I think when it comes down to getting a good... I think that don't think too much into it. And if it's your first year in fantasy football...
You're going to suck.
You might do really well. We had a girlfriend that was really good at first. She picked... I think the best team that she could pick.
She stole my quarterback.
She stole your quarterback.
Great, yeah.
Which, I mean, that's on you because who's
Okay.
Cam
Anybody
Newton?
get
Newton
anybody
is not
get
your...
fantasy football? Pick Cam Newton.
Don't
He's
do
stacked.
it. Please
Do
God.
not do it.
Do
He's
not
having
pick Cam
next
Newton.
year.
On
if you
paper,
start-
he looks good.
If you start fantasy football, he just had surgery.
Well,
on his
okay,
knee.
He
yeah,
just had shoulder surgery.
This is advice in the past. Like,
Yeah.
we'll do our research.
Jesse doesn't know.
I haven't
The
looked at
first
his
year of
surgery
fantasy
history
football,
now. The Panthers are out.
I picked all quarterbacks. My first year. So, and I tried to pawn it off as...
Far.
Yeah, I know. I tried to pawn it off as if I took all the good quarterbacks, I could trade for better players. That did not happen. Do not do that.
Don't do it. But so just know, just know how a football team really works and how a schedule works. Like at the end of the year, they're not going to put their best players in, and in fantasy football. Like if you're coming into fantasy football, like
at the end of the year, they will not put their.
They're not going to put their best in, and they're not going to do well every game. They have the depth chart of their team. There's so many players that a quarterback can hand off to or throw to. So
it changes.
So do your research. Richard does obviously a lot of research in the shower.
I use
and on the toilet.
Yep.
I do too.
I do research on the toilet.
Everyone does.
Yeah, I don't
If you don't, you're weird.
The shower's weird. Toilet's not weird.
I think the toilet's even weirder. I mean,
at work I don't have service in our bathroom, which is really unfortunate because I can't tinker on the toilet, which sucks. It sucks so bad.
That's the worst.
But I have another rule for people going into Super Bowl who may not know about football. All right, teams have quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs. Those are your scorers, tight ends.
I don't think the defense gets love.
Defense.
So there's an offensive line and there's a defensive line. Yep. There's a difference.
An offensive line, when it's your team, they're protecting your quarterback. Yeah, when you have the ball, their job is basically to protect the quarterback and then to protect the running backs and wide receivers to make sure that
And the wide receivers are going to be the ones that are going to be running off into the distance that the quarterback's going to try to throw to.
But they're going to throw it to. Running backs are the big, beefy, short guys that are making their way
They push right down the middle, right? Your tight end is going to be kind of a, wild card.
I mean, that's
wild
Gronk.
card, bitches.
That's Gronk. If you are aware of the Patriots, you know of Rob Gronkowski, and
have you seen Family Guy? You know Rob
Steven Gauskowski.
Gaskowski.
Okay.
It's a lot of Polish people.
Yeah,
Polish. They love their football.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, but
you
know Gronk, and he's going to be. They're going to talk about him.
So the offensive line protects your kind of scorers.
Yeah.
And while you have the ball, the defensive line is when the other team has the ball. They're the people that line up right there, and they don't get a lot of love.
Sack means you're taking down the quarterback when they have the ball.
And Tom Brady has only been sacked 21 times this year.
Versus Jared Goff, who
33 times.
33 times. Yep.
I'm actually surprised he's been sacked 21 times.
Honestly, yeah. I mean,
let's talk about
really old.
The Patriots are such a great team because they're very well balanced. Obviously, Tom Brady's super great, and they have some other all-star people, but they have a really balanced team.
I don't think they
so
have
I'm actually
many
surprised by that O-line. No. That O-line is pretty bad.
Let's talk about names that you're going to hear the announcers talk about a lot. So Tom Brady.
A lot. You're going to hear that name a lot.
A lot. Gronk.
If they don't say it enough, they get sued.
Yeah, they do. They got to say it enough times to get their quota.
It's like a quota, yeah.
This is all for the Patriots. So Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, you'll hear him a lot. They love to suck his dick. I used to like the Patriots a little bit while I was still learning football. Raiders still number one.
Yeah, I think
everybody has like a phase almost. And Julian Edelman is really hot for the ladies, but he's also a dick.
Yeah,
if he's listening to this podcast, he can fight me. Come fight me. I'll probably win.
Okay, who else is on the Patriots?
Yeah,
Philip Dorsett, who's on the Patriots.
You don't hear him a lot.
No.
Josh Gordon,
Sonny Mitchell,
in the Super Bowl.
Chris Hogan.
But, Chris Hogan used to play lacrosse. They talk about that a lot. You'll hear that from the announcers that he used to play lacrosse.
He had a great one-handed catch last weekend.
Not like OBJ though, who has like a one-handed catch every other game.
Yeah, we've already mentioned Steven Gostkowski. Every time they're kicking the ball, it's him. Right?
But he didn't make it every time this year.
Is it James White?
He's got to put his glasses on. He's getting old. It's fine.
He is getting old, yeah.
Right. Is it James White? James White is another
James White is a great running back.
He's a great running back for the Patriots.
For fantasy football, I would suggest you draft him every year as at least your RB2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they have tons of other people on their team.
Sony Michel.
He used to play for UGA as well, I think, last year.
I think Todd Gurley is a better running back.
Which we'll get to him for sure when we talk about the Rams team for sure.
Which, that's enough people on the Patriots. You'll hear a lot of other names, but there's great names.
There's at least 75% of us hate the Patriots here.
Yeah, in this room, 75% is like, fuck the Patriots.
No. There are 5. No, there are 6
Ripley
votes.
and Parker do not count. Parker,
the dog and the cat both
not
like the Patriots. So we're
Ripley,
50-50.
So I will say Ripley's from Portland, so her closest football team is the Seahawks. So she likes the Seahawks. Parker's from Atlanta. He likes the Falcons.
Both of them would hate the Patriots.
Hate the Patriots. Both of them.
No.
Yeah.
They love the Patriots.
No,
but let's talk about
team
members, names you'll hear on the Rams side of the ball. We've talked about the Patriots.
I think you'll hear
Jared Goff, of course.
Jared Goff, Todd Gurley.
You will hear, and this is the sad part for them. Their quarterback's not the star. Todd Gurley's the
star.
We
love Todd Gurley.
You should look up pictures of Todd Gurley because I'm looking at one right now where like the light's hitting him kind of right, and you're like,
beautiful.
He's smiling.
Jesus.
He's honestly a good-looking guy.
I think the other day he was like in a press conference and he had his UGA hoodie on, and I was like, my man, this guy.
Yeah.
Love
and then
him.
I remember C.J. Anderson used to play for the Broncos, but he's on the Rams now. He's really good.
On the Rams. He came in late in the season, and he's done really good for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Brandon Cooks.
He was on the Saints, and then he got traded to the Rams.
Now you gotta tell me, does he play on the Rams?
He does play on the Rams.
I hate that guy.
He is.
As a Raiders fan, I cannot like him.
He is, no one, I don't think anyone likes him.
I don't think any single person likes him, not even the Rams.
Yeah, he's known to pull your chain.
If he pulls the chain,
he's an asshole.
Yeah, which is now the Ravens' problem.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Who else plays for the Rams that we need to keep an eye on?
I want to
Sean McVay. I mean, I think he's head coach of the year, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Well, he was a couple years ago.
Did you see that he is the same? He played at the same time as Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
They played against each other. And
was it in high school?
I thought it was college.
I think it was college.
Yeah, I think it was college. Yeah, they're like the same age or close, and they were in school.
Again, I don't want to talk about ages anymore. We keep talking about age.
The thing is, like, he's playing him in the Super Bowl, and he's the head coach. He's a wide receiver.
Yeah, their main target, basically, for Tom Brady.
He's the youngest coach.
Youngest coach. That's the whole. I think that's the theme for the Rams too. Is that?
And I think they're.
No, the Rams is a pretty.
They're so young.
They made the move from St. Louis. What, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years.
2 years ago.
To
back
LA.
to LA, which was like
It was where they were originally.
70s or 80s. They moved. Yeah, it happened. So they moved back to LA, and ever since they did that, they've been looking for like a fresher start or a fresher. I don't know how to put it, but they're looking for.
I'm gonna say I don't remember who the quarterback was when they were playing in St.
I think
Louis.
it was Jared Goff. The
was
last year that they were there was Jared Goff.
Who was that before that?
They definitely made some changes before they moved.
It was Nick Foles and Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, so Nick Foles is the one that actually won the Super Bowl last year for the Eagles. And then Case Keenum now plays for the Vikings.
Plays for the Broncos.
See, fuck! You're right. Thank you.
Well, he did play for the Vikings, and he was really good for the Vikings. And
now he plays for
for the Broncos. He was terrible this year.
I thought he was really good for the Vikings,
He
too.
was.
That's why
I think
still
Kirk
played for them.
Cousins was terrible this year. He plays for the Vikings. He's the QB for the Vikings.
And Kirk Cousins used to play
for the Redskins.
Yeah.
It's a whole
this
thing.
is all a thing that you're going to have to follow along with.
Yeah.
When you play
Man,
fantasy
if you like
football.
Game of Thrones and you're not following football, you're
That
fucking
is-
doing it
yeah,
wrong.
you're fucking doing
That's
it
true.
wrong.
Yeah, everyone trades spaces.
Yeah, exactly. You'll learn that like football is one big web of just
North,
fucking bullshit.
North and South. You got the North. You got the South.
You got the
Yeah.
East, you got the
East,
West.
you got the
Yeah,
West.
the East, you got the West.
It's a whole thing. AFC, NFC.
Yeah, there's a
Which
lot.
is another thing. It's the AFC versus the NFC.
In the
Best
Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
two teams in the Super Bowl.
Best two teams
Who
in the
is
Super
playing
Bowl.
for the NFC?
Which, so people
Rams.
like to say
The
that
Rams and the NFC.
Patriots have an easy
They do.
conference.
I think they have the easiest.
It doesn't matter. They still beat the best person from the other conference when they go to the Super Bowl. 9 times out of 10.
I mean, but they were playing another young team who also, so they were playing the Chiefs. Who
Chiefs.
also lost their main running back, their main star scorer,
they should've.
because he's a fucking shithead
Yeah.
and
I'm
he
just saying.
beats women.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I was actually
Which
worried
is a
about the
whole
Chiefs.
other thing that I could get
I
into.
thought the Chiefs would win.
I
up
thought the
until
Chiefs
that
would
point.
win. Yeah.
Patrick
'Cause
Mahomes is great.
They did
It's
great.
Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah, they did great this last year. And you're
He's
like,
like, this is his first year
This is
playing.
his first year as a
He's
starting
coming back.
QB. I think he'll be back next
He'll be
year.
back.
he will. Well, we all thought the same about Derek Carr, too, right?
Hey, okay, all right. I'm feeling
We
really
did.
attacked right now.
Yeah.
I'm just here to have a good
Like,
time.
I'm actually, I'm super disappointed in the way the Raiders came back this
Well, I
year.
think they're
and
just
not
tanked
super
for
They've
strong.
lost.
draft picks.
They've
I
lost.
think, yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they
and
don't
then now
have
they're gonna
Amari
lose to
Cooper anymore,
They're gonna move to Las Vegas.
They,
and-
yeah,
stupid.
and they don't. Yeah, and he's doing fucking great for the Cowboys. They don't
Yes.
have
Was.
Crabtree anymore. They don't have.
I
any-
think they're rebuilding and they'll get a bunch of people in the draft. And
Good.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be years away from them being really
which is
anything
fine.
great.
I'm
But
here for
it's
the
just a huge
long
bummer because
haul.
like they were like there.
You
They
know who I
were
think
there
is gonna
when
make
he
it back
broke
to
his leg.
the Super Bowl? I think the Falcons are going to make it back to the Super Bowl.
I think they will.
I think so. And then Matty Ice, who is also
got-
my boy.
yeah,
We're
I
from
mean-
Atlanta. I love the
Matt
Falcons
Ryan.
still. Matt
Mhm.
Ryan.
Dirty Birds.
Yeah. He is really driven. He's a really great quarterback, and he can definitely lead his team to the Super Bowl. But the problem is going to be,
I think what messed them
we
up.
talked about it with Matt Bryant.
Matt Bryant.
He's
yeah.
older.
Yeah.
They're all old.
I
Matt
think what
Ryan's
messed
On the
not that
Falcons,
old,
they're
though.
all old.
he's pretty.
He's
old.
not as old as the others.
I think what messed them up is they lost their
I think
offensive coordinator when
they
they
did.
went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he went to
And
the
he
49ers.
He had to learn a whole new system after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about what are some other teams. in
Matt
the Super
Ryan
Bowl-
is
in the- or
33.
in
He's
the
got a
league?
lot
He's
of
33?
years left. Yeah, he doesn't
Holy
look
shit.
33.
But that's what I was thinking.
I thought he was old.
Matt Stafford, who is
Yeah.
the quarterback for the
Who will-
Lions,
who will
they're
never win a Super
similar.
Bowl.
They're similar in age. And Matt Stafford played for UGA. A
I
couple
was
years
there
ago.
when
Really?
Matt
I didn't
Stafford
know
Yeah,
that.
played.
he
Wow.
did. He was the quarterback.
I was
for
there.
UGA.
They're not similar in age. No. I was there.
Oh, okay. Please,
I'll bring
master
it
of
up.
the
Hang
Google right now. Matt Stafford,
Matt Stafford is
30 years
30.
old. They
That's-
were could have gone to college at the same time.
Okay.
together.
I mean, they probably did.
Again,
well, Matt Ryan went to
I
Boston
went to college
University.
at the same time as Matt Stafford, so let's not talk
Right.
about it anymore.
I followed them both on Instagram, and I look at them with their families together. They love each other. It's super cute.
Yeah.
But, so I think that Matt Ryan's still really young. I think that everybody else on the team is
Okay,
still
yeah,
really
so that's a good
young.
point. I was
They
thinking
still
that they
have a
were
great
older.
coach.
I was
Even
saying
They
that
got
they were
Julio
older.
Jones.
I
who's
think
a wide
Julio is going to
receiver.
come back.
Julio Jones is a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
did
gotten
Not
really into
jot
a
that
whole...
down in your notebook.
Yeah.
We're going right into this. I think we
This
should go
is
back
so
to the
much
Super
football.
Bowl,
Yeah, this is so much football. But I do
And we
want
can
to
do
hear...
podcast after podcast after podcast about this. So.
Yeah, and I do want to hear what Richard has to say. So Richard is a Seahawks fan because we live in Seattle, and he's a Seahawks fan. I mean, he's from Florida, but
I'm from
all their
Miami, but I am a Seahawks fan.
but all the teams in Florida kind of
So-
suck
Okay,
dick.
well, I did like the Dolphins for a long time.
You
That
like
is
the
weird. That's a
Dolphins?
weird
What's
thing.
wrong with you?
That's a weird thing to like.
That's a
Unless
weird
you
thing.
were
Unless you like Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yeah, which is a great movie.
That's a
by the
great
way.
movie.
It is great. It is a great movie.
And
You
Dan
like License
Marino.
Out?
But the first football game I ever went and saw, my uncle took me
Was
to a
Dan
Dolphins
Marino?
game. Yeah,
I'm
Dan
jealous.
Marino. Yeah,
My
You
first
got
was
to
the
see Dan
Seahawks.
The
Marino
Dolphins,
play?
man, in the 90s.
Dan
yeah.
Marino was a Dolphins quarterback in the golden age of the Dolphins.
The one, if you've seen Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, the
He
one
is
with
in
Monica
there,
Geller, he's in it, and he's the one that is a target.
He is the target.
I always had a thing for Monica Geller. She was hot.
Courtney Cox?
Yeah,
Courtney
Cox.
Cox.
Yeah, she was hot. She was hot.
Yeah, she's still hot. She still looks good.
Well,
she got all the filler taken out of her.
did,
Okay,
yes.
hey, okay, I haven't
So
seen
she
that
looks, I mean, she looks great. But
Yeah.
so how do you feel about the Seahawks from now? I mean, they're not getting Le'Veon Bell, so that's
No
kind of
way,
upsetting.
they're not getting Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, he's gone. He's
And,
not an option anymore.
I think he goes to the Indianapolis Colts this year.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think
not official, but-
Seahawks were rebuilding this year, but they did okay.
They did okay. I think they did okay.
I think
They made it to
did
the playoffs,
Yeah,
right?
they made it to playoffs. Their first round exit.
Okay, let's talk about the Browns.
Do we
Browns-
have to?
Honestly, I
We
think,
don't have to, but like
I
they
think-
did pretty good this year. Do you think next year that they could actually do better?
I think they get in the playoffs next year.
I agree. I think they could actually make it to
At
the
this
playoffs.
point, I
That's
think
how I feel the Bears. I feel like the Bears are going to go farther
Yeah.
in the playoffs this
Yeah,
year.
but I
Wouldn't that
think
be
that
cool?
everyone is a Browns fan. You have to feel
You
bad
have
for
to be
them.
the underdog. If you like underdogs, you're a Browns
Underdog-
fan.
I mean, that's
Everyone's
why
an
I like the
underdog fan.
Raiders still. I feel
The
like
This guy's
Browns-
talking about
no,
underdogs, but
no.
he's a Patriots fan.
I know.
Well, I still like. I still look at the underdog from on high, and I say,
From up
good
here,
for you.
you're like above
Hi.
everybody else.
Good for
Hey, I
you.
Shitting
like
on
underdogs.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
I think the
But
Browns,
I do think they'll do pretty well
they
next
do.
year.
I think they go to the playoffs next year, and if they don't,
That'd be awesome.
then I'll be really sad.
Yeah,
Well,
I hope
mean,
they
I'll
do.
have-
I hope.
Well,
I hope a
just-
bunch of people. Because I was about to say, if your team made it to the playoffs this year, feel good about yourself.
This year
The
was
playoffs
a
are what
weird
matter.
year.
It was an upset year,
Yeah.
I think, for a lot of playoffs. Because I mean, the Bears made it. The
Bears. I thought the Steelers were gonna make it. Pittsburgh
Right.
Steelers.
Steelers.
In a tricky year, if your team makes it, that means that they have what it takes to maybe make it to the Super Bowl. I think any
Yeah.
of the teams that made it to the playoffs could have made it to the Super Bowl.
Although I don't think
I don't know why the Eagles made it. I don't think that
I
they
don't.
had the
Yeah, I
best
don't know
year.
why the Eagles made it to even to the first.
No, I'm so sorry. So let's talk. Adam at Games and Groceries. I think he's an Eagles fan.
Is he?
Sorry,
And
dude.
that's not. I like the. I love
we
the
love
Eagles.
the Eagles. I just don't think
I
they had a
just
good year.
don't.
I don't think that the
Well,
Patriots
okay, so
had
I
an
was gonna say,
outstanding
I
year.
don't think they had a great year. I
I
think-
kind of agree with that. I will say I kind of agree with
I'm
that.
honestly surprised that they made the playoffs.
Which is why, and then like when they beat the Chiefs, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Right.
great,
I think
okay,
that-
we're in the
that
Super
was a
Bowl
great
again.
game.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No, the first time that the Patriots played the the Chiefs this year,
They
I
lost,
thought
right?
no, they won.
They
And
won?
I thought that was a great game. It was like 40-30.
See, I thought they lost, and that's what I was like looking at. I'm like, they're like, the Chiefs might win. Don't get my hopes up.
I didn't think the
Alright.
Chiefs were. Unfortunately, I
think
wanted the
after
Chiefs
they
to
lost
win.
the woman beater Kareem Hunt, I think that's when they
Yeah.
started to feel.
Hey,
They
If you're
made
not a
it to the
woman beater, you're not a
playoffs,
good
and they
football
did.
player.
They tried really hard to make it work without an all-star
without-
running
yeah,
back.
All-star running back.
What are they gonna do? Le'Veon Bell.
I mean, they
No, I
totally
think
made the
Le'Veon
right
Bell-
call getting rid of Kareem Hunt. We do.
Oh
not.
yeah,
definitely.
no, we
Yeah.
hate Kareem Hunt. I had Kareem Hunt on my fantasy football team
And she dropped
immediately.
immediately.
Bye, bitch. Bye, boy.
Yeah, don't behave that way. Like literally, you have one job to throw a football and
Yeah,
not
no,
beat
literally,
women.
no. As a
Come
human
on.
being, you have one job, and that's to not hurt other human beings.
Yeah,
But
be a
as
decent person and throw a
person
football.
who's
It's
getting
so
paid
easy.
millions, you
Millions
should
of
know
dollars.
It's
Wait,
so easy to not hit a person.
it's so easy. Yeah.
And
So
that-
I do it every day.
on camera.
On camera, for
On
sure.
camera.
Why
My
would
God.
you do that as a star of a?
Why would you
Potentially
need to
Super Bowl
feel
team.
why would you have to feel like you had to do
Again,
that?
people are
Anyways,
trying to hold
you
you
can bring
back,
this
man.
up at your Super Bowl party, and people
Yeah.
think
Talk
you
about
know
it.
so much about football.
Another
though.
thing you can do at your Super Bowl party is bring tasty snacks.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, let's
yeah.
talk about food because like we
I love
just
food.
today we came up with what we're bringing, and because we're all on a diet. I'm not
I'm not
really.
on a diet.
We're not on a diet. Jesse's
I'm
on
on
a
a
diet.
diet.
Jesse looks great,
So if
and I don't think you should be on a diet. But
and I appreciate those comments,
That's
but
so
I
nice.
still am gonna try
They
and
love each other
cut
so
some
much.
carbs.
I love Jesse.
Yeah, I know you do.
And I love Richard
Aw.
so much.
Okay, and I love myself.
I love you too, babe. I love you
Thanks.
too.
Thank you. I also
She's
look
okay.
great.
But yeah,
She
so
does great.
let's say you're on a diet and you want to cut carbs like me, make jalapeno poppers. They're
Poppers.
Super easy.
Jesse's gonna make, and this is one of his favorite things.
I
you
love
don't have to do it.
Jesse's jalapeno poppers.
Yeah,
they're
so
good,
good.
right?
They're
not
smoked.
too spicy.
And that may sound
smoked.
sexual, but they are great.
He
Yeah.
pops them in his mouth one after
They
the
pop
other.
all
What
that
he does,
cream
he
cheese.
They're smoked jalapeno poppers.
They're smoked jalapeno poppers, usually wrapped in turkey bacon, but
Yeah.
sometimes in regular bacon.
And regular bacon, yeah. You don't have to smoke them either. You could do them in the oven.
Yeah.
But like just half the jalapenos, core out all the seeds so you get rid of the spiciness.
Yeah, so people who are bitches.
I like to
I am
fill
a
it.
bitch.
Right,
Little
yeah.
bitch.
I do not like
Well,
spice.
we had some jalapeno poppers
Although I'm
last night
Spanish.
that were so fucking spicy. I
Yeah.
can't even deal.
Even
But
the bacon that was wrapped around them was super spicy. And I don't understand.
yeah, I don't know how they did it. They just got
Yeah,
and it's
they
because the
weren't
seeds
as
were all
spicy
intact.
to me and Ginnye, and I think it's our feminine genetics.
There was some statistic
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
However that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, you core all the seeds out. You fill it in with some
Jalapeno cream cheese by Philadelphia.
That's what I use, the jalapeno cream cheese. You can use
It's
regular
real
cream
cream
cheese. Yeah. Sprinkle some sharp cheddar on top so you get a nice crust of cheese.
And wrap it.
And wrap it in bacon.
Any bacon.
And the
Like,
halves are nice because they're just a little easier to fill and eat
And that's
that
what
way.
and eat.
Yeah,
You do,
the
right?
halves, yeah.
And then
you
you
can do the
smoke
whole and
some,
stuff,
but you, again.
I
Yeah,
like the
I
smoked
smoke them,
jalapenos.
and I think the smoke adds like that.
It's just
Flavor.
a different
It's
flavor.
a good flavor,
Yeah.
but if you don't have a smoker like you,
Yeah, not everybody
like
has a
normal
smoker.
human beings,
You can do it in the oven, like 350. I don't know how long it takes. Just keep an eye on them once the cheese
I mean,
Yeah.
he
comes
cooks
out.
them. He should know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he should know. I mean, I
I'm
think he
eating
just
them, and I think they
ballparks
taste
them.
great.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
they're-
do.
Yeah, when I throw it in the smoker, I just throw it in there for like a couple hours. Like smoker is a slower cooking process.
Yeah.
So.
Jesse's also
It's a
really great
science.
at making salsa. That's like his jam,
It
and
is
that is
delicious.
also really great
Yeah.
Super Bowl food.
I do have a new salsa. I'm gonna make that for the Super Bowl. The new salsa recipe that I have.
Jesse's
try
always
it out.
gonna
Old
hit
one,
us with
though.
a.
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
eat
he'll
it
probably make
because
the
the
other one,
salsa
too.
is not keto friendly. Because the chips you're gonna use, the salsa. I'm not gonna eat it, but I'll make it for everybody else. I'm gonna make a new salsa.
And
that
we'll
I have
love
now.
it.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll love it. I
appreciate
love
it.
your
Yeah.
old salsa.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the new
The
one.
new one, it's like the
Dropping
most
a new
roasted
album.
He's
salsa.
dropping a
Like it's
new
like
album,
fire
it's gonna be
roasted.
fire.
It's
It's
fire!
fire!
It's fire!
It's a fire roasted thing.
Yeah.
So I was looking up recipes. I'm
the fire
prepared.
Fire
emoji.
We're
roasted.
ready.
Okay,
Fire
fire
roasted
emoji.
/ fire emoji salsa.
Yeah.
Salsa.
Well, some other good snacks. Any sort of dips are good.
Yeah, I make a cheese dip that
It is
I like
great.
to call it meat sweat cheese dip.
It is.
It's
Yeah,
dedicated
all
to
from
Richard.
Richard,
yeah. The first time I had her meat cheese dip, I went home that night. Obviously went to sleep, and I had the worst meat sweats.
Meat sweats. You just
It
get
was
the,
the
meat
worst.
sweats.
I think we had to watch the covers twice.
Yeah, and they're really.
But it was great.
Yeah, and it's not good for you cheese dip.
It's
unfortunately, it's
But
Velveeta.
hey, guess what? Low carb, keto friendly.
It's
It
still
is,
low
yeah.
carb and it's still keto friendly.
It tastes great going down. You'll
yeah,
just have
it
the nice
tastes great
sweats.
coming out
And
too.
unless you want to eat it with a spoon to be super keto friendly, use like bell peppers.
Bell
which
peppers.
is
That's
we're
what
gonna
we're
do.
gonna do. Is chop up some fresh
Yeah,
bell peppers.
because a bell pepper you can make 4 or 5 bell pepper chips out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole pepper is like 2 or 3 carbs versus like the equivalent amount of corn chips would be like 20
way
carbs.
too many. Yeah.
So,
I'd rather just have the chips.
well, no, we'll have
Well,
chips for
you
you
will
guys.
have
You
chips.
guys have
Okay,
chips. Yeah.
calm down.
I'm gonna bring bell peppers for me and Ben and Jen. And
Okay.
Yeah,
everybody else,
exactly.
You look great though. You don't need those bell
I'm
peppers.
sticking
He wants
with it, man.
We gotta go to the Dominican
I got some
Republic and
plateaus.
make.
I just had McDonald's and
I know that was delicious.
Yeah.
Ripley also
And some
thought it was
confit.
She
good.
thought it was
Some
Yeah.
confifi.
Covfefe.
So confefe.
Confifi.
Covfefe.
Uh,
So what else are we bringing?
I don't know. Chicken wings are always good at a
Chicken
Super Bowl
wings,
party.
hot wings are good.
You could also do hot dogs and hamburgers and do the
And you
Yeah.
don't have to
grillings
drink
and
beer
stuff.
at a Super Bowl party.
You
You
don't.
can do liquor. You can do
Yeah.
keto friendly.
A
liquor.
really cool thing to do if you want to be like the all-star at a Super Bowl party is bring everything you need to make some cool mixed drink that's themed. Whatever. I don't know. What's a mixed drink that's popular in Boston? I don't know. Look it up. There's
I
probably
don't
one
know.
you could
Sam
do.
Adams.
something
That's a
that
big
Well,
tastes
that's
like
up here.
chicken.
Yeah.
But you could probably do something cool like that, and then everybody be like, "Oh man,
They're
that guy's
really cool.
That guy's cool. I'm gonna invite him to all my Super Bowl parties from now on."
What's a cool
Yeah.
LA drink? You could bring him, I don't know, a margarita.
Yeah, we got some cool Boston cocktails here. Boston sidecar. Yeah, there you go. I don't know what that is.
Sour.
And they'll be making this
Boston
for 10
sour.
years because the Patriots will be.
They're going to be in the
every
Super
year.
Bowl.
That's why I went with Boston. LA, I'm sure, also has some stuff. But yeah,
That's why I said a margarita.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't cook and if you can't come up with like a easy thing to bring some liquor and you'll be well accepted into any Super Bowl party.
Bring beer. Like, honestly, bring a six-pack. If everybody brought a six-pack to a Super Bowl party, everybody would be happy.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
Football games usually last several hours, so bring multiple six-packs.
You can, but, I mean, if everybody's bringing a six-pack, I feel like that's more than enough for every human being.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying in general, make sure there are multiple there.
Yeah.
Everybody
will be fine.
Some snacks and stuff like that.
Yep.
And okay, before we end the podcast, go to that, let's do... Who do you think is going to win?
Who do I think is going to win? I would like for the Rams to win, but I think the Patriots are going to win.
I would like the Rams to win, but I think Tom Brady gets a 6th ring.
Yeah.
He becomes the Thanos of the NFL.
Snaps his fingers and puts
the
his
entire
cap
NFL is
on
cut in half.
Half of the NFL
and I'm right there with that.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to win the entire shindig.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody going into the Super Bowl, look for the Patriots to win if you're betting on what Co-Op the podcast has to say.
I will say that literally every single person is rooting against the Patriots. Every person.
Yeah. And they'll still win, which is why they're great. Anyways, though, follow us at Co-Op the Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yep.
You can find us on all the major platforms. We're on pretty much all the podcasting stuff.
Yeah.
You're probably listening to us on one of those right now.
Yep.
If not,
subscribe, rate, and review. It means a lot to us. If you do that, that gets us a lot higher in our rankings, yada, yada. You hear this all the time.
And we'll love you.
We'll love you. We'll give you
you
love points. I mean, where your parents are not giving you enough, we'll fill in.
They will love you.
Yeah, we'll give you.
Yeah, you'll feel the love.
We'll fill in where your parents have let you down.
Yep. Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter at JESSECO_OP. Jesse Co_op. Because some fucker had the other one.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz, at Raven_Co-op or Coop, like Raven Coop, like you're keeping little birds.
Yeah, and you can even find Richard.
It's RP the Third, but you want to find them first, so.
Yeah.
You can find him on Instagram or Twitch, though. He sometimes is on Twitch.
I'm on Twitch, yep.
He's on Twitch, and we might play with him at some point.
We can do that.
We could totally do that, where we play with him. He plays a lot of video games.
Yeah,
we literally talked for like way too long about video games this episode.
Exactly. I'm seeing all sorts of branching podcasts here. But yeah, if you found this interesting and you really want us to have other guests, we will make that happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen anyways. I mean, this is our podcast, not your podcast, so.
If other people want to just like fly, if you're in the Seattle area and you want to just come hang out, just
yeah.
let us know.
We can also do it on Skype too. So if you're on Twitter and you like what we have and you think that you can add to our conversations, let us know. Give us. I'm always on Twitter. Jesse's never on Twitter. Do not reach out to him on Twitter. Talk to me on Twitter if you're into that.
But everybody who reaches out to me on Twitter gets extra love points.
No, I get the most
But yeah,
points.
anyways, coopthepodcast.com. Check us out.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, there we go. That's a podcast, guys.